cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move.
You got it?
What up? What up? What up? Welcome in here to Betting the Board. I got making Daddy in the house with me.
Yeah.
Pop up some college hoops for you guys here. We got ourselves a cooker. This happens to be one of those Saturdays, C-Mac, where there's like nothing going on except for college hoops. So we are the main piece today. I hope you guys are excited for us here. Thank you for being patient as we get started here. Some guys like to sleep.
Not me, baby. I'm up. Waiting on this guy. We got
a delicious entree in store today here. What are there, 100 some odd games in college hoops? They start at 12 p.m. A sampling of Samford and East Tennessee State, California, Boston College, Clemson, Duke, Georgia Tech, Notre Dame, TCU, Oklahoma State, Fordham, Rhode Island, Navy, Colgate. Pop us off here as C-Mac gets it together. I will tell you guys that we are 3 episodes deep with the Saturday College Basketball Show, and it has been a tremendous success. I am having a fun time talking college basketball. Look at this. I got a list. You can't see it. You can't see it, but I got a list, and I'm ready. In fact, I did an asshole parlay. I want to punch it in and see exactly what it pays as we kick the show off here, because these have been successful for me. So it's an asshole parlay because they're big favorites. And I put enough of them down that I want to take the money line and see if I can turn it into a profit, because these are all like 50-0 positions on money lines. So they're big favorites. I'm going to punch it in here as we go. A little nasally here this Saturday morning. But basically, we're looking at Nebraska, Michigan, Virginia Tech, Florida, BYU, Houston, UConn, Arkansas, and the option to add Gonzaga. I didn't necessarily stuff them in there. It was just that one was more of a gut feel than the rest of them. So Nebraska, Michigan, Virginia Tech, Florida, BYU, Houston, and UConn. This is the asshole parlay of the day. Michigan, you can see Michigan sitting at minus 2,100. Nebraska, Virginia Tech, Florida, BYU. Let's see what we got here. Nebraska sitting at minus 1,200. Asshole play right there. Virginia Tech, Florida, BYU, Houston, and UConn. Florida, there's Virginia Tech. There's not such an asshole play. Minus 250 C-Mac. My friend, Miggity Mac Daddy, couldn't talk me off the cliff last night. I went swimming.
I wore the red for UNLV, and all your troubles.
What a fun exchange I had with C-Mac last night. Asked him what he thought about my play, of course. He fucking jujued me on this one here. And now he's wearing his UNLV red. If you guys don't know, I gave out a free parlay last night. It was a 21-1 parlay. And it came down to the last leg. The last leg was UNLV. I'm sorry, it was Boise State. And they were busting them boys up, man. They were up like 20. They almost lost the game.
Who almost lost the game? UNLV won.
That's right. You're right. In fact, that's how disgusted I was. I was hoping for overtime, but then I just turned it off and said, fuck this game. So there goes a 21. Man, I could have used it. I had 2 parlays that kind of hinged at the last minute, and both of them shit the bed for me. So that sucks. Almost done punching this parlay in, though, C-Mac. We're going to rip off about 15, 20 games maybe for you guys here. We're going to talk the board. We're going to bet the board. We're going to tell you about our favorite spots where we think we can get these bookies between the eyes. And there's quite a few games to do it. So you guys know us, mid-major gentlemen here that like to find these spots to get paid. So we are going to get into it. I'm just finishing this. I'm just getting this underway. Let's see here. What's left?
In it.
And I think there's Arkansas. Did I miss Arkansas? There's UConn. All right. It's an asshole parlay. It's got a boost. All right. It's going to be plus 150. But that's the way we're going to kick off the show here. 7 legs. What can go wrong? C-Mac, happy Saturday to you. Happy Valentine's Day, C-Mac. Is that red for your Valentine's heart?
All day, every day. Shout out Nicholas Handy. Gerald Jones, 4 weeks. Hell yeah, my guy. Here's his card. UCF first half. Texas A&M Vandy over. And the Bucknell Boston U under 141. I like it. I looked at that a ton. I like that under. My dude. Shout out to Gerald Jones. All right, I got to get this air on. Take it away, Mike. Take it away.
We are live on 2 channels here. We are streaming on the Sports Money Network. We are streaming on Hitting the Books. So if you haven't done so already, get out there, smash the thumbs up button on both channels for us. We greatly appreciate that. We're trying to get to 1,000 views this Saturday morning here. We were about 800 last week, about 800, trying to get to 1,000. So we're almost on our way there here, 3 weeks in. And it's because we find a way to get to the W. So we're trying to get to the W today. Let's see if we can get after it here. I told you guys this game, this card kind of pops off. Look, C-Mac and I were talking a little bit yesterday about this situation, and it continues to move against him. So I don't know if I'm just on the wrong side of this game or not, but it's a 12 nooner, the nooner special, the nooner of the day. Clemson and Duke. This is a big. It's a huge ACC game out there. Clemson, number 20 in the land. Number 4, Duke. I had the opportunity to talk with our guy, Jay Peasy, yesterday on Pre-Gaming. He was in the chat telling me these young players don't need rest. And I'll tell you this. Clemson found themselves in an ugly little sandwich spot last week here the other day, coming off this L. They were on back-to-back West Coast games. I think it was Stanford, and I can't remember if it was Cal or USC. But either way, it was back-to-back road games on the West Coast. They come back home. They play lowly Virginia Tech, and they get knocked off the snide, if you will. But I think that was a look-ahead spot because they were going back on the road, and they were going back to play none other than Duke out there. Now, Duke ranks high in the land, of course, number 5. And we're looking at this thing open at 11.5. It has moved to 13.5. A half. 61% of the bets, 61% of the cash are on Clemson, and yet it's moving against it. It's a reverse line movement angle. 133.5 has not moved, and you've got 83% of the bets and 88% of the cash on this over. And I'll tell you, I popped it off right off the top here. I thought Clemson, look, put them on the road on Saturdays. They are 15-3, and I think the significance in tying it into the day of the week has a lot to do with the fact that they're in conference play. They know what's the task at hand. This team has consistency. They have some veterans. They're 9-1 in their last 10 of those spots. Big home dogs. I don't know. I think this is one of those spots here. Away, higher ranked college basketball versus conference opponents out there. 11-1 on top of it. C-Mac, it's 13.5. Do you play any semblance into the boys were tired from the road trip? Does that register at all with you when you look at these guys, or do you fall under the these are young players, who gives a shit? They're okay. They'll go back out there the next day and fight again. You think rest matters?
They'll fight again. Hold on. Sorry, I've had a little bit internet issue. I don't know if it matters. The college here? What game are you talking about?
You know, I'm talking Clemson and Duke, baby. Big battle.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at this, I think it's both teams have good defenses. You know, they defend the 3 well. Yeah, this total's low for a reason. You know, I don't know if there's just a ton of points in this game, even with it being at 133. This hasn't dropped, has it? No. 133.5.
133.5, yeah.
Yeah. Is this number big enough? I mean, I think so. You talked about how you liked Clemson, who's played well, I mean, relatively well on the road so far this year. 6-2 ATS, 2. So, at Duke, they're pretty good. No injuries here, right? I know, what's his name, the big guy? Gongba was a little banged up, but he's probable. The center, so. Hey, I like it. I don't mind it. Clemson.
Yeah, I
lean under. Is this too low? Is total too low?
It's getting down there. I mean, if you look at recent Duke games, you got 148.5, 141.5, 152.5, then 136.5 against Pitt. but they're still putting up 70s. So this thing is getting pretty low, 133.5. You've got Clemson. I told you guys coming off that loss to Virginia Tech. That was a 76-66 loss out there. But 4-1 to the under in their last 5 for Clemson, and 4 in a row to the under for Duke here. Sitting at 133.5. I think you got some strong looks in the under 133.5. I think you got a strong look on the Clemson side at plus 13.5. I'm going to go official with Clemson plus 13.5 to kick off my betting card. Two good teams with big spreads. Big spread for a reason, though. It's not a maybe it's a trappy spot for the dog here, because if you've got two teams that are north of 75% on their win percentage for the season, 136 and 88. So this is a tricky little spot here. Duke should want to come out there and thump, but whether they can dictate pace or not at home, early afternoon card. Interesting.
Yeah, Clemson plays them well, by the way. You know, games have been tight, even in Cameron.
I think this is a good Clemson spot. Like I said, I'm gonna discount that Virginia Tech loss. I'm not gonna weigh that too heavy, but I'm gonna use that as an opportunity because I think we get a little air taken out of the ball, if you will, because they came off that loss here for a pretty good team. So the other game I wanted to talk about at 12 o'clock here. No, you know what? I'll pass the baton because Georgia Tech plays Notre Dame with an 8.5 that has come all the way down to 5.5. 59% of the bets, 74% of the cash. Georgia Tech total open at 151.5. It's come down 2 points. We're seeing 149s. You got 63% of the bets and 62% of the cash on the under as well here. So we're moving, we're cooking, we're shaking, we're looking at this Notre Dame spot here. I am going to tell you this: Notre Dame's coming into this thing on a giant L, but so is Georgia Tech. Both these teams have lost their last 5 games. Georgia Tech's 3-2 to the over. Notre Dame's 4-1 to the over in their last 5 spots. C-Mac, what are you thinking about with this game?
Big attack, bro. Yeah, I'm on Georgia Tech here. I thought this line was too big. I got an 8.5, so I don't want to give that. You know, that's what I got last night / this morning. I think this team is good enough here. Has played well on the road in Georgia Tech, and I don't know if Notre Dame should be laying 8.5 to anybody. I mean, even with Georgia Tech, we talked about them on the road. I can't win games 1-6, but 6-1 ATS, and that's what I like to see. Buck the wins. You know, we're betting numbers here, and I got 8.5. One thing I was surprised: Notre Dame's rebounding is a little bit higher than I thought, but Georgia Tech not far off, just right outside, 100. Because I wanted to look through that. I'm thinking, man, Georgia Tech's a little bit more physical here, but Notre Dame has kind of had to be that way because they just, Burton's been out, their best scorer. It's been tough for them to find buckets at times. So, and I'm a little surprised by this total. It's moved. I know Notre Dame the last couple of games they've had overs, and they've cleared them scoring points. So maybe we get more of that. I just think this line was too big with Georgia Tech. I'm all over them. Team that's lost 9 of 10, Mikey, in 6 straight. But I think they're competitive here. So I took the 8.5. I still think it's all right at 6. I don't know if you want to go lower than that, but that's where I'm at.
There he is.
Yellow Jackets, action. Baby. Yellow Jackets.
Georgia Tech. I still am
rambling wreck.
Reminds me of something my brother always says. There ain't a team worth of shit from Georgia, but I know that's in reference to football. So I don't want to get the fans chapped up here, but how about
sounds like he lost a bet.
He's lost several bets.
He's not betting on
yes. Any Georgia team, they've got Georgia State, Georgia Southern, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what Georgia Tech. It doesn't matter what Georgia it is. He just doesn't get involved in those Georgia spots one way or the other. But let's talk for a minute, C-Mac. This Navy Colgate game. Now, if you want to talk about potential trap lines, I don't know if this is it. I mean, this Navy team just continues to surprise and cover spreads, most importantly. They open as a 1.5 point dog. They're minus 1.5 now. So we've gone to flip-flop. We're still between the twos. Excuse me, 50% of the bets, 52% of the bets, 45% of the cash are on the Navy side. It's gone from 137.5 to 140.5. And I'll tell you, I know Patriot League games, they have a tendency to be lower scoring. In recent form, they're sitting about 500 from a total perspective. But I kind of thought with this spot, I like Navy to dictate the pace in this game. They're what I think is to be the better team. But I'm looking at this thing going 1.5 point favorites against unranked teams are 180 and 129. I think Navy comes out here and wins this game for us. We're getting a fair number on Navy, but I also added the first half under 66.5 because I think if Navy's going to dictate the pace in this game as the road team out there, probably a lower, slower start. What we're going to see out of Cottrell Court in Hamilton as Colgate hosts the Navy in the Navy. And I think a money line's a fair price.
If they win it, you're right. It's with their defense. They're going to hold Colgate down. I don't trust them. There's just no way I could take Navy. I really don't want either of these two teams, but I would take Colgate over them at home. It's just 1.5. You got to like money's came in here on Navy, right? And it's moved this line basically from a pick 'em last night to 1.5. We haven't had any twos, have we? Yeah, there have been a couple twos. It's touched.
Yeah, there's been a couple.
Few spots. Yeah. Well, you look like you're on the right side there. There's no way I'd take Navy. I'd be on Colgate or nothing. What? What's so funny? You just don't like I'm on the other side? But I'm not betting it, so that's
I don't like it. No.
Yeah.
I said, I got the first half under 66.5. I did take Navy, and is it recency bias maybe for me because this Navy team just keeps winning. I mean, look, you put a contest in front of them here, 20-6. Who would have thought? This squad finds a way to just come out there and persevere. Now, Colgate, that being said, I feel like Colgate's been a pretty public team. I've heard a lot of people talking about Colgate lately, and in all fairness, 4-1 in their last 5. But I guess you can only play who's in front of you. Navy just continues to. Doesn't matter what number you put in front of them. 9.5 against Loyola Maryland. Bucknell 7.5. Don't matter. They just come out there and kick the shit out of whoever's in front of them here, and it's. I think the benefit of being in the Patriot division. So Navy makes the Final Four. Yay or nay?
Now you want to get Alexander here? We just talked to either rewind a few minutes or tell him what you're on, Mike. Clemson.
I took Clemson with the points.
Give him a.
Took Clemson with the points here. I tell you, Alexander, I thought just to give you a quick synopsis here. I'm going to dismiss that last game. Clemson's been playing hot. They're number 20 in the land. They had back-to-back California games before coming back home to play Virginia Tech, which obviously was a terrible spot for Clemson because they had to look ahead to Duke. And this is the look-ahead spot to Duke. So they went on to the West Coast. They busted teams up. They're a top 25 ranked opponent. They are going into Duke and Cameron Indoor. They are ready to fire, and they're pissed off that they had to take that loss the other day. So just 2 or 3 days ago, they take that L, and I think they come out here and they fire. I think they put boot to ass here. I might just go as far as to say wrong team favored, but I like the points. Give me the 13. I got 13.5. If you can get 14, good on you. I got Navy, and I got the first half under 66.5. And Mickey Mac Daddy's got Georgia Tech for the 12 p.m. slate, you guys. That is several plays to kick our betting card off for you guys here. UCLA and Michigan. It's only right we talk about the number 2 team in the land in an awkward little 12:45 p.m. start. This is a 9:45 a.m. body clock start for UCLA. Michigan minus 16.5. Now we've got 56% of the bets, 57% of the cash. Just now. Some late money came in on the Michigan side of things here. It opened at 151.5. It's now sitting at 155.5. 68% of the bet, 77% of the cash are on the over. It's moving in the over's direction. CMAC, Michigan, and UCLA. I tied Michigan to the asshole parlay because they're such a monster. And if you guys want a little understanding of what made it the asshole parlay, it really just came down to ranked college basketball teams against unranked opponents are just a monster, 34.05 and 11.15. So huge winning percentages. But away teams against ranked conference rivals that have extra rest are 3-0 this season. So found a way to come and sneak into the spot here. Is this too many points? Are these too many points for Michigan at home? They find themselves in a little trappy spot to potentially go out there and cover or not. They're 12-12 against the spread. Got to give them that. But I'm gonna go to the UCLA side here. When Michigan's in a double-digit favorite role, they're 1-8 in their last 9 games. CMAC, I think there's a tax laid on this Michigan team for being a nationally ranked opponent out there, and UCLA can't travel. Everyone kind of talks about that. I got it, but I think UCLA is a little underrated here. A double overtime loss to Indiana. Wasn't for that double OT loss, UCLA would have a 6-game winning streak. So I like 16.5 points. I think you're getting a tax on Michigan for their recent form. And look, it's dropping. We got 15.5s in the marketplace right now, C-Mac. What do you think about this UCLA spot? Is this a tricky dog?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, I'd like to take UCLA here. I'm just going to stay away. This seems like a shit ton of points, right? It is a shit ton of points, right? Mikey, I mean, you get Michigan tax here, big time. You know, and they're the same team. Are they really? I mean, they kind of – the only game was Penn State where they had a blowout of 40, 50 points. You know, since conference play, that hasn't really happened. So UCLA, one thing is they got to get to the free throw line where they're a pretty good team, and they got to hit their threes where they're not bad if they could do that. But, Michigan, that's why they're top 1, 2, or 3, however you put it. The defense has been really, really good all year. And you just need from the starting 5 from UCLA, big games. They just won at Washington, right, by 4. Really not the best effort, but Perry's got to be big. I talk about they don't have a deep bench. Dent, I've gone on him. I mean, he plays basically 40 minutes every night, just about, or close to it. He's had up and down games all year long. He's got to be big. So if he is, they hang around. If not, they get their ass kicked.
There you have it.
So what are you playing on? What are you playing on this? Real quick, you're doing a Michigan money line in your goofy parlay, and then UCLA with the points. Okay.
Michigan's in my asshole parlay, and then I got UCLA with plus 16.5. So for anybody that's just tuning in, I put an asshole parlay together because they are monster favorites, but it did turn out to be a plus 150. These are all money lines: Nebraska, Michigan, Virginia Tech, Florida, BYU, Houston, and UConn. 7 legs. Turns out to be a plus 150. They're all money lines, so it's just kind of looking at it as like a little bankroll builder here because they are some double-digit favorites. They are ranked opponents. And that being said, though, I think 16.5 points. Look, another trend or another angle for you guys. Part of what we're doing here is sharing certainly our college basketball picks, our looks, but we want to give you some trends that you can consider. And maybe it helps you move on a play. Maybe it keeps you off a play. But unders, home ranked versus unranked teams that have a strong defense, they go under. 88-46 to the under. They've cashed 6 straight under. So this game does fit the criteria. This would be a situation where the opponent allows less points per game than the league average. So Michael B. Yeah, it's an asshole parlay for a reason, Michael B. I'm not talking about the points. And look at this. I'm on the other side. So shout out to all you guys. Justin says, when did you start wearing glasses? Dude, I started wearing glasses when I got tired of fucking not being able to read the small print, dude. And I'll tell you what. All those years I had a free annual eye exam and every 2 years getting free frames. I never thought about it until last year. I was using my cell phone to zoom in on the back of a recipe. You know how you get the recipe on like the side of the soup can, C-Mac? I was using my phone and I was zooming in on my phone so that I could see the words better. And I was like, you know what? Maybe it's time I go take a look at the eye doctor. And these are just readers. I'm okay, C-Mac. I'm going to be okay. Don't worry about me, C-Mac.
Hey, I think you're fine. That's shit. See other people. I know you're going to live. At least for
Michael
now.
B says no UFC today, so you know I had to come in this morning and break your balls. Appreciate that, Michael B. Listen, 1 p.m. kicks off. Now, I don't want to say that I was ahead of the curve here, but I think I was ahead of the curve. I told you guys a couple weeks ago, I want to start fading Texas A&M. Not in the Texas A&M business. And frankly, that's the right call. They lost to Alabama. Granted, they covered, but I looked at that and said after that game, they were an easy fade against Florida. I think I came on the show. It was last week. I came on the show on Saturday and said, I'm auto-fading Texas A&M. They got busted up by Florida. They got busted up by Mizzou. Those were both in their home court. And Vanderbilt kind of surprises me here. This is the team that They got, first of all, the benefit of really nice scheduling spot. They had to go on the road against Auburn, but they had Kentucky, Mississippi, and Oklahoma all on their home court. They're back in their home court in this case here, and I think it's 6.5 points. This is clearly the better team in my estimation here. I don't. Texas A&M is just a team that I thought that they peaked. I thought they peaked against Georgia, and Georgia's not very good. So they went on the road. They beat them up 92-77, and then not a team worth of shit from Georgia. So Justin McKelvey knows that saying as well. But what do you think about this game, C-Mac? Can I interest you in jumping in on the Vanderbilt side and laying 6.5 points with me?
No, this was a pass for me. I mean, Texas A&M had been playing so well. This team's gritty. You know, they and finally maybe it's catching up to them a little bit. Just their size and some of the talent that they have. But what about Vandy? And what's his name? Still out here, right? For Vandy, he's been out the last 4. Duke Miles, averages almost 17 points a game. He's still out. So I always like Vandy at home. I mean, they still have plenty of scores on this team. So it was a stay away for me.
Yeah, but I mean, I looked at that with the Duke side of things here. But you look at Clements and Griffin on the. I mean, Texas A&M's dealing with some injuries on their own front too. So it's not like they're a clean bill of health.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Those guys are problems.
They're playing though.
But yeah, I don't know if they'll be.
Yeah, they are. They are a little banged up. Hey, get it.
Mercer and Citadel is the 1 p.m. game that everybody wants to know about here. It's open at -9.5. It's moved to 10.5.
Yeah.
66% of the bets, 69% of the cash are on the Mercer side of things. So you've got correlated line movement with the cash flow. You got a total that's come down, a point. 73% of the bets and 70% of the cash have moved in on the over, and it's come down a point. C-Mac, Citadel and Mercer. Talk to us about how you're getting paid.
Yeah, who the hell wants Citadel here? Probably nobody. Nobody but me. I'm going to take the 10 with them off. Probably, yeah, they've had other bad nights, but 29%. They were 6 of 27, 22% from 3. Mercer just keeps on winning. You know, I know they dropped a few, but still 16 and 10 have been really good all year long. This team can score, and they might not have a problem. But Citadel at home, this is where I want them. They've had, I forget the game here, Mike, when I was going through it. I can't remember where they lost. Of course, they just lost on the road, but, you know, VMI, Furman, all these games at home they've won. They just think they're going to shoot the ball a lot better here. I know it's tough to take, but that's Citadel, +10 alone.
Is VMI the worst team in the nation? The Keydets?
No. They're close though. Gardner Webb, Ryder. There's a few that are really, really bad. Yeah,
I'll tell you what. The one thing you talk about Mercer, and if you look at their recent performance as well, their defense is starting to hone in a little bit here. And I tell you, I looked at the under in this spot. Mercer, when Mercer's in the favorite role, Mercer as a favorite to even a medium favorite to a small dog. 76 and 32 they run to the under, but when you put them on a total of 133 or greater, they have found themselves to go 76 and 36 to the under. Mercer favorites against conference opponents. The under is 58 and 30. It basically tells me that Mercer is going to dictate pace, and we got a 147.5. There's even a 148 floating out there. So I did jump in on this under. I thought, again, recent form, I'm seeing Mercer starting to shake into shape out there. Plus, excuse me, Mercer at home, they get hot. They like to score, and their defense kind of becomes secondary. But when they go on the road, they're 5-9 to the under on top of that. So Citadel at home, 4 to the under, and they're right. They're at 10 and 13 overall to the under squad here. But the Mercer offense tends to struggle when they get on the road out there, and the defense seems to travel as they say it does. Defense travels. So I like the under. I got 144.5. 147.
Yeah, Mississippi Valley State's pretty bad, Michael, for sure. Yeah, and Mercer, not the best team. You know, teams like this, they do win. You know, make a win. Yeah, I win by 11 here. But anybody else, they have not looked good on the road. They're splits, you know, with Mercer.
Reminder to everybody, we are live on 2 channels, Hitting the Books and Sports Money Network. So if you haven't done so already, jump in on both channels and give us a thumbs up if you kindly would. We appreciate you taking the time to join us here today. We're just getting rolling as we pop through this card here, but we are at the 1 p.m. time slate. If you missed the early spots, then certainly you can go back and listen. On deck here, we're going to talk a little Chicago State and Lemoyne. We've got St. John's and Providence in the 1 o'clock window, Northwestern and Nebraska. A lot of points for this Nebraska spot, minus 12.5. They did make the asshole parlay. Kansas and Iowa State will make the conversation point. I'll park it right there for a second here. Minus 5.5 have moved to 8s now. Man, 73% of the bets, 62% of the cash. And you look at this game here. I'll tell you, I said this the other day. The thing that surprised me, I guess, is, and maybe I'm a victim of recency bias, because I look at that when it comes to like betting in the NHL, and I start to look at the goaltenders and recent samples here. But this feels like an ugly spot for Kansas. Kansas surprised me. Kansas has done nothing but go out there and beat who's in front of them. They're smoking teams on top. A big win against Arizona the other day, a 5-point dog. 5 days ago, they came out there and really, I mean, I think they put the entire conference on notice here, but this just feels like an ugly little spot because you've got Iowa State, who was beating the shit out of teams, and then they kind of stumbled. They went to TCU. They lost outright as a 7.5-point favorite. So, C-Mac, it's one of those situations where we're buying low on Iowa State and selling high on Kansas. What do you think about that? Excellent. Higher ranked road teams versus strong conferences are 10-2-2. So it does tell you a little bit of the Kansas side of things.
Sorry, I'm coughing and stuff. I'm maybe getting a little sick here. Doing now, so I'm like, what were you saying?
I was wondering if this is a sell high on Kansas, buy low on Iowa State spot. I mean, Kansas has done really some great things in the conference here. Big 12's on notice. These guys are for real right now, but I like this Iowa State spot. I mean, at the end of the day, for me, I'm just looking at this going, Iowa State's a good team in their own right. They're number 5 in the land. And yet they come off of a little tricky beating. It was on the road against TCU. So I'll give them that. They come back home. They've got this big Kansas. They're certainly not overlooking this Kansas team. You're going to get everything they got. And, this is one of those revenge spots, right? So you've got Kansas coming into town here. Iowa State, home teams in redemption on an in-season rematch spot is a real thing, C-Mac. 7-0 are teams that are trying to go out there and get redemption. And this is like a triple spot for me. You got redemption, you got the home court, and you're coming off a loss. Talk me off Iowa State.
I can't do it. That's just, I hope you got in. This is getting rich here now. I mean, everyone knows that, with this spot, you just blurred out everything there. Iowa State off the loss, in the revenge, at home here, early start time. How could Kansas be this big a dog? It just keeps on winning. Peterson in or out. Yeah, I think the Lions may be telling he's out too. Have you got any word on it?
I haven't, but it doesn't seem to fucking matter.
I haven't. Yeah, it might. I mean, I think in the end it does matter, but it didn't matter the other day. Kansas though at home.
What a dramatic movement there. Everybody was saying, "Oh my God, he's out. He's not playing. You got to go fire and hammer on Arizona." And then literally right off the gate, Kansas goes up. And they just never looked back. I mean, Arizona tried to hang in there, but Peterson or not, that was a good game.
Iowa State, I think, has a better shooting day, no matter what. So maybe they get their team total in this, just coming off an awful game. Against TCU, that last game where they lost. So
yeah,
Kansas does look better. Their defense, they're playing more team basketball. Yeah, I know, big number now. Books know what they're doing here. They want action both ways. They're going to get it here with a big name like Kansas, and you see plus even 8, it's touched. Mike, you believe that 8? Few spots?
It's getting a little lofty. I still think it's okay. I mean, I still think they can go out there and a double-digit win. The books are saying these guys are going to bust them up, and that just seems like an awkward number. But the higher the number, the more I like it, I guess, at that point, because it's just confidence in the bookmakers out there giving us a giving us a look and saying they're going to bust them up boot to ass. How about Chicago State and Lemoyne Dolphins? 1 p.m. Line open at 7.5. It's moved to 6.5. Kind of got a little sharp special here. 35% of the bets, but 50% of the cash have come in on Chicago State. Has this Chicago State team done enough to earn your respect, C-Mac, here? 6-20. I say that tongue in cheek, but look at this is a team that's coming in here having won 3 straight games, and they just took me down. I had Stonehill. I thought after the St. Francis PA game, Stonehill was a letdown spot for them. The Sharps, in fact, were on Stonehill. That was the Sharp Respected Better play of the day. What are you doing in this game? Dolphins and Chicago State.
I know. Winners of 3 straight. The last 2 being at home. I know. Well, this game is, to me, under. So, but you know what I'm going to stick to? The team total under here. I love this bet, Chicago State. Lemoyne, to me, when you go through everything, this team, in certain spots, I think their defense is better here. And they're at home. And here's Chicago State. When I go through, I think teams maybe not as good. They already lost 72-57 to Lemoyne at home. But on the road, 60 points there. Mercyhurst, 59, 67, Central Connecticut. I mean, they're the team to get red hot shooting it, score 70 points. 69.5. Like I said, the full game under, but I took their team total under 69.5. Love it. Take it. I'm on it.
There we go. Little team total action from Mick and Mac Daddy as we roll into 2 p.m. with North Dakota State and North Dakota. This is the battle for the good promised land here. The Mountain West, not Mountain West, but the Western province here of the United States, North Dakota State, -6.5 has moved to -4.5, 2 points less. Disregard what I say. I know not what comes out of these lips. 150.5 has moved to 149. 81% of the bets, 83% of the cash on the over. I'll tell you, I liked North Dakota overs for a minute, C-Mac, but I feel like I've fallen flat in recent, I guess, again, recency bias here. What are you doing in this game here? I look at North Dakota. It's funny. Over teams, we talked about this a week ago. They play Omaha, Nebraska. They ended up falling off the wagon. They had like that 14 straight over trend or something like that. I get off them. Then they go to Denver. They go over that total. They go back to South Dakota. I jump back on the over. It goes under at South Dakota. So here they come back at home hosting North Dakota State. And North Dakota State's one of those teams that likes to put some points on the board as well. But we're getting lofty totals for these squads. What do you think about this game?
This is a little bit of both here. I'm going to have 2 bets. I'm on North Dakota. Give me them in this rivalry at home as dogs. Big bad North Dakota State coming to town. And I did. I got 148.5. I think this game goes over. Daytime, though, always a little bit different. I worry about. But one thing I get consistent, we talk about Chicago State, why they can't score. I mean, they're in the 300 plus in every category, scoring category. So that's why I want their under, and it's been cashing their team total, especially on the road. So with these 2 teams, their shooting's pretty good here, and the defensive numbers just aren't there. And North Dakota a little bit quicker pace. These teams aren't blistering fast, but I think we get there. Other than kind of being the rivalry, I thought if I could get this, which I did, it's moved back up to 150. I wouldn't go more than that here. But over 148.5 in North Dakota +5. I think they went outright, but take the points in your back pocket.
Back on the over train for Mick and Mac Daddy. Let's take a big leap here. It's still in the 2 p.m. window, but just something to touch on really quick. UNC and Pitt. This is a big number, but this UNC team seems to be a little hobbled. 11.5. Big money coming in on the UNC side of things here. Pittsburgh's not a great team, but they're that bad. 11.5 points. You're looking at a team here that, I guess they are that bad. 2-6 on the spread on the road. UNC's 10-5 on the spread at home. UNC had that big win against Duke, but it didn't. Who was it that went down in that game? Isn't there a big injury that I can't think of his name offhand? UNC. Anyhow, they just came. They beat. They're going on a hell of a tear. They played Duke. They win 7. I thought it was against that Duke game. 71-68. They got Miami at Miami. They lose that game 75-60. You look at this Pittsburgh team that just 4 straight losses. They don't travel very
Wilson?
well.
Caleb Wilson, is that
Wilson?
what you're talking about? Yeah.
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 That hand injury is a big deal, right? So this is a situation for I think is this a situation where 11.5 points can get us in there and get the cover. I kind of now listen, I took Michigan State yesterday. I even said during pregame, and I said, one of the spots I don't want to be on is counting on Michigan to put points up. I said that even as I took Michigan. I feel a very similar capacity with Pitt, but I just feel like this UNC team is overinflated with the fact that they've got that Caleb Wilson injury out there, and can Pitt just get a backdoor cover? Road dogs, large spreads with the rest advantage in conference play. They're 500, but it's a profitable system over the long haul. Over a 20-year gamble here, it's a 53% win rate. So it's not it's a tilt to the Pittsburgh side of things here. It's not my favorite spot on the card, but it's a big game. I know a lot of you guys like to get involved with those big games, so that's kind of where it's kind of where my head was at, was looking at this Pitt side of things. And Michael B says Caleb Wilson might be out for the year for Carolina. So Michael B says Pitt is terrible. They sure are.
Yeah, they are. They got a couple guys banged up. North Carolina, I just didn't play it. The Miami game, I liked them after the Duke win. I didn't play it. Miami, plays a really good second half in that game. Ends up winning. I think North Carolina too only had 63 points, I believe, in that game. 75-66. So with some of Wilson out and a few other guys, we're not get the old over North Carolina. Maybe this game stays under here, Mikey. But is it too low? It's Pitt. It's just, man, they can be a tough watch to score. They want to slow it down. They need their defense. But these are the better schools where, Duke, even at home, at Clemson, always put up, 52, Virginia, 47. I don't know. They better make it gritty. I can't take it. There's just no fucking way. No way. Shout out to Greg. What's going on? My man, Justin McKelvey, Stacks, play of the day. Shout out to Nicholas Handy, as always. Shout out to the members for both channels. Especially all those guys. Give us questions if you have on any games here at the end. Or, of course, donos always get questions on games. You know that, Mikey, right?
Fucking A right it is, brother. We want to give you guys the best information, and if you want to support us, we want to support you and help you continue to grow your bankroll. So, hey, listen, here's a 3:30 game. It's Tennessee State, and everybody could use a little Morehead State action out there. 3 wins on the Tennessee State side, 2 straight wins for the Morehead side. One of the better logos in the game, I think, for Morehead. Probably an underrated squad out there. Here's the thing. Shit for ticket count. We got 883 tickets. I got no percentage of splits, but I can tell you this. The line looks like it is slightly, well, I guess I'll say it's oscillating, right? It's kind of like when you're playing golf. I know you're like to get out there on the links, C-Mac, and the ball kind of moves a little bit, but it doesn't really actually move. It just kind of oscillates, and that's what's happening here. Tennessee State open at -1.5. We got some plus a halves out there, and so when we're tight like this, we try to look at the money line and see if it gives us an inkling of what's going on. And to some degree, we've got 57% of the bets, 58% of the cash on Tennessee State. It's moved from -114 to -110. But don't let that fool you, because Morehead started at -105. They're now +102. So with regards to a couple of teams coming in here on a heater, C-Mac, you have an edge for us here. 17-8 Tennessee State Tigers. 14.
I haven't bet this yet. There's 2. I think Morehead here at home is a spot 9-2. You talked about both these teams playing pretty good basketball, especially of late. I want them at home a little bit. Of course, they played earlier this year, January 15th. Revenge, tight game, 105-100, bunch of points. You know what I want in this game, Mike? That there's not going to be a bunch of points, that this total's too high. One thing, Tennessee State, though, I wrote down their pace. They can move it a little bit. Their possessions, 59. Morehead, not the slowest team either. Middle of the pack, a little lower at 245. Here at home, I think they kind of slow it down a little bit. But nothing shows, other than that 100-500 game, that they played. Moorhead really is going to play to that. I know they went over against Linwood here at home, but they want to go a little bit slower here at 151.5. I think this has come down maybe a little bit. We have 150s, 50.5. Yeah, there's some 151.5, 150.5 too here. I want to double check here. Get on the up-to-date lines. You got it in front of you?
I jumped off it. Sorry.
Yeah, 151.5 is basically everywhere. There's some 152s.
Yeah, and low juice too, minus 105, 151.5.
Yeah, so Moorhead, I think, can win here at home. Like I said, I haven't bet it under 152. I think we're a little bit high on that total going off that crazy OT game that they had a month ago. That Moorhead slows it down a little bit better defense here at home. Just too high of a total under. I know you loved it, Mike.
I like me a good under. No doubt.
This guy likes Moorhead and an under. Ricky Bobby. Appreciate you, my dude.
Up, Ricky Bobby. Shout out to Blake. Says I'll go with Moorhead today myself. It's Valentine's Day. You guys earned it.
Get a
little Moorhead. Yeah. Kansas State taking on Houston. This is maybe my favorite spot on the board. And I'll tell you, when I see, first of all, when I get a Houston team at home, I immediately start thinking the other team's first half under, team total under.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the game to go on. And then I like Houston to kick some ass. Now, that being said, Houston's minus 22.5. So this is a big number. But the other two plays I feel are very much out there here. So this is a 4 p.m. start, I believe it is. And I'm looking at, first of all, the 145.5 on the total for the game, to me, feels like knockdown drag out. It's a Houston spot at home. Houston is starting to heat up. I think Houston is a Final Four squad. I'm not saying anything too egregious by saying that these boys can go out there and they can play both ways. They can play pace. They've beaten some good top ranked teams. They go fast, but they also can play defense, and they're back at home where I like their defensive edge. So I've got the under 145.5 here. Kansas State, to me, CMAC, you look at this team and I don't know. Do they do anything really well? I mean, at the end of the day, they suck at covering the spread at home. They're a little bit better on the road. But geez, they just don't do anything. There's no consistency out of the K-State side of things other than they lose. And even when you look at consistency, they cover the spread, they don't cover the spread. They cover the spread, they don't cover the spread. They're playing a Cincinnati team at home. Cincinnati put 91 points on them. These guys, when they play a defensive-oriented squad, to me, I look at, and I said this to you guys before, West Virginia's, Iowa State's, Cincinnati's, Houston's, these are under teams. And when we see a profile, they played West Virginia, they put up 54 points. This is Kansas State. They play Iowa State, they put up 61. They put up 62 against Cincinnati. And then you look at their team total here today, and it's sitting at 61. It's right in the wheelhouse. So I'm going to go team total full game under. I'm going to go first half under, and I'm going to take the game under itself. This is one of them big spots for me, C-Mac. Am I crazy for trying to really hammer down on?
I don't know. I don't know how they score. Yeah, I mean, this Kansas State team is pretty bad. One of the worst ones I've seen in the last few years. So, I was talking about there's not a lot of wiggle room, but do they get to the 60s here? Right?
55 is the number I feel like they get to. I think 55, and it's one of those spots where it's like they barely get there at the end. I don't think, to me, this is one of them that I don't even think they're close. I'm trying to look at the first half here. First half number's 27.5, so I'll go under that number. Their team total is 61.5. I'll go under that number, and I'll take the game under 145.5.
All right, triple up for Mikey. Michael B, he's out of here. He's got a dip. Wyoming plus 5.5. Nevada plus 8.5. Santa Clara first half. We'll touch on that Santa Clara game in Toledo plus 4.5. DJ, what's going on, my man? DJ Hardy. What do you think about Alabama? That game, Mikey. You have anything to over? They're an over squad.
Yeah, I like them. They're very capable of putting up 100 points, and I think they're in a good spot here. What a great. They were, what were they, 8.5 or 9 point favorites the other day, and they went down like 8 points or 10 points right away. I think I got Alabama to pick them. And then 5 minutes later, they're out there kicking the shit out of them again. It's like this Alabama.
Oh, yeah, they can go on runs. Yeah.
They they can rip off 20 points in a blink of an eye, and then you're looking at it going, man, they were just getting busted up. What the hell just happened? And Bama's what happened. So I like Alabama. I get down with some Alabama.
Yeah, big number. This is a tough year for South Carolina. They're not very good. They just don't have the team this year. Don't have the horses, Mikey.
Don't have the horses. Breaking news. Kevin Fiala's season likely over after leg injury suffered in the Olympics. That's breaking news.
Well, that's what comes with it. Yeah.
Can't, what do they say? You can't make an omelet without, how's that go? Breaking some legs. Oh, no, it's eggs. It's eggs for the omelet. I forgot. Purdue and Iowa taking off here. Interesting spot, C-Mac. Is this the trap spot of the day? It's a 5 p.m. start, 7:01, 7:02 on your rotation order. 57% of the bets, 65% of the cash on the Purdue side of things here. No movement. None. Sitting at -1.5. The road team in Purdue. This fucking thing keeps refreshing on me. There we go. Total open at 139.5. It's moved to 142.5. 79% of the bets, 86% of the cash on the over, expecting to see points in this squad, this opportunity. And why I question this is, why is this spread 1.5? And is it Iowa's been ripping teams up, but they go to Maryland and they lose 77-70. Was that a look ahead spot? Because Purdue comes in here. Purdue's taking their lumps. They took their lumps to the best in the Big Ten. They lose to Illinois. They lose to Indiana. And then they go out there and kick the piss out of Maryland, 93-63. They bust up Oregon, but they don't cover. That was a big number that they didn't meet expectation. And then they go into Nebraska. They're a 2-point dog, and they come out there with a 3-point win. Is this Iowa or is this Purdue?
The problem here is it's just you're not getting much here with Iowa. Basically, they got to win the game. I know there was 2.5s, basically 1.5 everywhere. Now, when you look at these two teams, though, Purdue, off the big wins, back-to-back road game here after Nebraska, and then they come back home. Huge game, like the 17th against Michigan. There's a little bit sandwich type spot here for them. And you mentioned Iowa, that were they looking ahead? Just a horror against the Maryland team that's been really, really bad all year long. One thing when I look at these two schools, I just don't love it is under. Both these two teams are going to not go at a snail's pace here. I mean, they're super slow. Iowa, one of the slowest, 361. Purdue, right around 300. Pretty good defenses. Iowa's turned into more of a slow defensive team from all the years past. With McCaffrey, all those teams that wanted to get up and down where they had really high totals. So, Iowa, if they shoot the three well, I think they get it done. And what's going on with Purdue? Obviously, Lawyer, they have Smith. What's going on with, what's his name? Kaufman-Renn. This guy, I think he's still hurt. He's just not the same player. Mike, he averaged 20 points last year. He's been in and out a little bit. I get with the hip injury. He's kind of like just going out there. I don't know if he's 100% or he's going to be 100%, but they need him, especially coming up here with March. So, yeah, I think it's Iowa. I don't know if it's enough. They basically got to win the game now. What do you think in this one?
Yeah, I kind of lean to this Iowa side of things here. Just
yeah.
And this is a tricky game for me because I've been backing. I think I've been in the zone with both these teams. Like I had Purdue, to go out there and bust up Nebraska. I think that was the free play of the day that I gave out over on the Instagram side of things there. And I think I had the total on the over as well. I think that was the double dipper. So I was happy and fortunate, but yeah, win one, lose one, unstable, inconsistent form. And then the Iowa side of the things. I mean, I like Iowa. I just feel like I can't get on the right side. And then I look back at their cover rates out there and it's like, yeah, they're 3-2 they're losing more than they're winning when it comes down to it. So just a spot that I have a tough time getting involved with on either side of things. I mean, for me, there's other games that I want to bet. Like, look, Iowa at home, 10-6 against the spread. But then you look at Purdue on the road, they're 6-3 against the spread. So this is a tricky game for sure. But I would say Iowa bounces back at home. If I had a free play, I would say Iowa bounces back at home. And then
that's how I kind of feel. Same.
You
So I
get a
kind of
plus
feel.
110 on the money line. I wouldn't fuck around with the spread. I would just say, you know what? They're not going to lose by a bucket. They're gonna win, or they're gonna get
Yeah,
busted
especially
up.
if you can't get the 2.5, which there's not. There's 1.5. I would just go money line
Right.
there. All right, let's get to
All
Zero
right.
here. He's got a question right here, Mike. You hit it because I know you love Syracuse. You talk about
I
me
do love
with
these.
UNLV. You love them. What about SMU Syracuse?
Fuck
What do you
Syracuse,
really
man.
like?
They're sucks this year. Syracuse is
Yeah.
literally. This is one of the worst teams that Syracuse has had. The region just. That used to be that was the pinnacle. I talked about the triangle of misery. If you take a line, right? If you look at the
Mm-hmm.
map, there's a thing called Interstate 90, right? It connects like New York City to Seattle, right? I-90, Syracuse, Niagara is the other end of the bottom leg of the triangle. Think about a triangle. It's the triangle of misery. You got Syracuse to Niagara, and then where's the tip of the triangle? Bonaventure. That little fucking triangle of shit. And Lemoyne falls into that little window. Canisius falls into that window. It's
Oh,
shit
yeah.
basketball this year, especially. I would say, if anything, Cuse has a tendency to run to the under at home, but again, recent form, this team just, I don't want any part of this team here. I would say you've got to, I mean, they're 2.5s. It's moved to 1.5, but the totals where I would play, I would look to the under. 157.5's gone down to 157. The Mustangs come in here 14-7. They've won back-to-back games, but the line's moving against them. -2.5's down to -1.5. I would take the Mustangs money line, or I would take the under. What do you think about those looks?
Yeah. We're getting some 4s on the golf course here. 4.
Yep.
Yeah, this total's high. Both these teams are over teams. I don't know if I'd even mess with that. Man, in a tight game, I know Syracuse at home. You talk about this just drop. They can't hit free throws. Like, they can't hit clutch shots or free throws. Do you want that? I don't want them as a favorite, I'm saying, but even as a small dog, at home, you think I take SMU. Free play, I take them. Shit. I would.
Seems like it's a fair.
They've been a decent road team.
We just talked about the Iowa money line. It just kind of feels like, yeah, if you're going to look to play a side on that, just take SMU on the money line, especially now that it's come down to that 1.5.
For sure. Yeah, definitely take the money line.
One of the games that I had starred on the card today, Air Force and Fresno State. Look, I was fortunate. I caught an Air Force W the other day when everybody laughed at me. They were 24.5 points. They were like, Air Force sucks. They've lost so many games in a row. They do. They do suck, and they did have a lot of losses. And they're continuing to lose. They're 3-21. Imagine if you lost to Air Force. But Fresno State coming into this thing at 16 points tells you, I think, everything you need to know. And look at one of the best teams in the land to bounce back at home off a loss is Fresno State. They are 13-0-1. They did just lose. Look, they had back-to-back road games. Now, in all fairness, they busted up your boys. They busted up UNLV. They put up 98 points. They lose at Nevada. They lose at Utah State. Utah State, some pretty good teams out there, but they were 21.5-point dogs, but they've been covering 4 straight covers in a row, and 13-0-1. Fresno State bouncing back at home off a loss, C-Mac. I'm laying the points, man. I'm going laying that 16.5 and saying, fuck you, Air Force, man. Bunch of little guys. Can't have big, tall guys flying airplanes. What do you think about that?
I mean, Fresno's been good ATS. I would take that. I don't want to lay 16.5 points with them, but that's the only play here. How can you back Air Force? Man, maybe their team total even under. I don't know how they score here much on the road. It's a good spot for Fresno, like you're talking about. Maybe even first half look to Fresno to jump on teams. One thing, Air Force has been bad first half. They're bad off. When you're that bad, you're just bad. Like, you know what I mean? But they've been horrible.
Doesn't matter what
first half.
You're just bad.
Yeah. But first half, they've been pretty awful, too, especially on the road. So even Fresno early here, first half.
I missed a spot that I wanted to chime in on with you guys as well.
Right,
Speaking of bad, we're looking at this. Go back up just a little. I don't know how I skipped right by. Where the fuck was it? Anyhow, it was an under in this Howard and Maryland Eastern Shore game. The big barn burner of the day. It opened at 129.5. It moved to 132.5. We got 88% of the bets, 88% of the cash on the over. It's moved in that direction. Howard's 11.5 point favorites, 64% of the bets, 65% of the cash on the Howard side of things. There hasn't been any movement. Howard comes in 15-10. Maryland Eastern Shores 8-17. Never been to anywhere near Maryland. I don't even think I've seen a road sign that said Maryland Eastern Shores here. But the spot that I was looking at for these boys,
damn,
I'm looking at the under. Look, good teams versus bad teams on long losing streaks. The under's 9 straight wins. It couldn't be any more simple. You got a good team in Howard, as I mentioned, a good team relative term at 15-10, but Maryland Eastern Shores is that bad team. So over 50% winner against an under 50% loser on a winning streak, or on a losing streak rather, are 9-0. So I like the under 132.5 in the Maryland Eastern Shores game. I had that one started. I skipped right through it. It's a 5 p.m. spot, but anytime I see a nice little 9-0 trend out there, I want to get involved. I want to get in the under business with Maryland Eastern Shores and Howard. 132.5. Low number for a reason.
All right, get it.
Get you 132.5, C-Mac.
No, but I didn't go crazy into that game, so I have to take a look at it a little more. A lot of games on the board here, Mike. A lot of games.
Betting the board, Dave. Betting the
Star
board.
Child was going down.
Mississippi Valley State, Alabama A&M. 5 p.m. slate there. Just fade them boys, Mississippi Valley State.
What's up?
Mississippi Valley State. Fade them.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Can't take them serious, right? No.
That's your guys. That's your team. I don't know.
I would fade the shit out of Mississippi. I mean, look, we're just talking about some spots out there. Debbie Cab in the house. What up, Debbie Cab? Shout out to him. He says Peterson switched his profile pic to him with a Michael Myers mask on. He's about to go the fuck off today. Agent letting him out the cuffs. We're fading Kansas State.
AB.
What up, Debbie Cab? Listen, let's talk for a momento about the best cover team in all the land. Is that Stephen fucking Austin? SFA, Utah Grand Valley here. Minus 1.5. Now moved to plus 2.5. Stephen fucking Austin getting blatantly disrespected. We look at Utah Grand Valley. This total opened at 145.5. It's moved to 142.5. I like Stephen F. Austin. I mean, I'm not. Maybe I'm a home. I can't really be a homer because it's not really my backyard. But look, they love covering spreads. I love betting on them. You want to fade, whack home favorites against non-con opponents out there. But I think this is a spot where we can get involved in the Stephen F. Austin business. 1.5 points against unranked teams in that 1.5. Now I know it's moved to 2.5 in some books, but generally speaking, the favorite against an unranked team in that window of 1.5 points tends to get the job done here. When the books aren't entirely certain, just default to the rankings here. And the better team is Stephen F. Austin. Eastern Tennessee A&M. Wasn't that Tennessee Commerce? 74-70. Lamar 84-74. McNeese 67-60. There's that Southeast Louisiana. We shit talked them the other day and they came out there and ended up getting a win against me, fuckers. But I don't want to get in the Utah Grand Valley business. Now they're covering and they're winning. So it's with respect, but I like Stephen F. Austin. I think this is another plus 110 money line spot I want to be involved with here. I just ride the hot streak. Why not? C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, I kind of like it. I mean, this is a good game. You know, Texas Rio Grande Valley playing well too. Offense has been kind of clicking. I think they've won 8 straight? Yeah, 8 straight.
Yeah.
So
yep.
I know this is a sneaky good game here. 5:30 Eastern. I don't blame you if you've been riding Stephen F. Austin. You know, keep rolling. The seems like you talked about the money ATS, 22-3 and 18-5 ATS. Why jump off now, right, Mike?
I think it's the best team in the land. I literally think I read that the other day that they are the best. And I was thinking about it and I was laughing. I was like, yeah, it feels like I made a lot of money with them boys. I'm going to take Stephen F. Austin. Like I said, I think this is a money line play. Forego the points. Keep riding the hot hand. Funky little line out there. But let's go to 6 p.m. Let's talk a little A10 action as we look at the Itsy Bitsy Spiders. And can they climb up the water spout here? They've got VCU. They got the Rams coming into town. 7.5 has not moved. 156.5. Seeing some 155.5s, 57% of the bets, 59% of the cash here. Full disclosure, I was a Richmond Spiders fan for about 3 straight seasons. They have done me dirty as of late, so I have kind of looked past these guys here. But VCU sitting at home, 5-11 is this VCU team. Excuse me. Blah 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 blah. Restart. What are you doing in this game, C-Mac?
Yeah, a lot of VCU love. They're the better team here. I think coming in, they already beat them by 8 points. But I don't think they play the same on the road, especially their defense here. Richmond coming off after struggling, which they can, their defense, Mike. They really had one bad home game against Davidson and that kind of losing streak that they had. But this team plays a lot better at home, plays tight games. They can shoot the ball well, definitely from 3, which I like. Even though they don't shoot a ton, they get to the free throw line. They make their free throws. I like that. I want that in a home dog. I talk about that. Yeah. Team that at least makes their free throws, gets to the line. They're at home here, catching 8. VCU might win this game, but I'm on Richmond here, +8.
The itsy bitsy Spiders. Wrong team favored?
No. Right team favored, but not by 8, baby.
But too many points. Okay. Davy Cap says, my bets are scary today, but I got Tech 2. Arizona's better at home and coming off a tough loss, but 9.5 is nah. Hell nah. For the nah for Davy Cab.
Texas Tech been going under, by the way, lately, but I think that game can get over. I think the offenses are too good. Pace there. I know it's moved up a little bit, that total there.
I see 155 and a half.
Yeah, still 155 to hit 156 and a half. I think that game can get over.
63% of the bets, 74% of the cash have hit the over in that game. And yet we're not seeing much movement, if any. Some 156s, I guess, are out there. 9.5s on the side. That is a big number against Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona. I think they're going to bounce back at home. I don't know. There they are. They're loaded. We'll see. I think Tech could hang, maybe. What do you think?
I was looking at the points for Arizona in that game. I mean, it's 82.5. I don't know.
Yeah.
Does Texas Tech wake the fuck up and crack them? But I'd lean to the Arizona team total over in that game.
Yeah, I worry about sometimes Tech the last few years on the road.
Yeah.
At times,
That's what kind of keeps me off of the side. But I think one thing we can count on is Virginia pissed off and looking to fire back up. And 82.5 seems like it's a bit lofty, but wouldn't be out of the realm to see those guys put up 90 points.
Yeah. Should be good. Yeah, Star Trek. Yeah, that's maybe just a wait, or bet live later today, that game. See how it kind of rolls early.
I rolled on down to the 7 p.m. slate because I got another unbeaten spot for you guys here in the last 10 games. It's kicked 10 straight asses in a row. We're looking at Tulsa and Wichita State, C-Mac. Tulsa comes in here 19-5 off of back-to-back losses. Wichita State's hosting 15-9. They just lost in their own right here. This line opened up as essentially it's a pick 'em. I mean, look, we like to talk about these spots where we look at the 1.5s, which is where it's at. Then we look at the money line, and what we're seeing here, 46% of the bets, but 57% of the cash on the Tulsa side of things here. Not really much movement, any way, shape, or form. They're just kind of, the books aren't sure what's going on. This is basically a pick 'em across the squad here, and I think if we can find a pick 'em and the books aren't sure, I got a default 35-15 over the last 5 years. An AAC road dog. They lost against the spread. Their opponent's coming off a loss. They've won 10 straight times out there. I'm going to take Tulsa. This is another one of those money line. I got 3+ money, not huge money line spots here, but this is a +105-ish on the money line for Tulsa. Not more to me than just a situation where you got this conference, you got uncertainty, and I can wade through the uncertainty with a 10 straight winnings trend out there and say, okay, fuck it. If these two teams stink and they're both coming off of losses, and look, Tulsa's got 3 straight losses against the spread. USF, UAB, I'll take it. I'll take a shot with Tulsa. I think they're underperforming, and that gives us an opportunity to get maximum value. Did you look at that game?
Yeah, this was a tough game for me. I
Yeah.
think it could go either way, really. Wichita State plays a little bit better at home. We've seen it early on. Even last month they beat Memphis. They've had a couple other decent wins. North Texas. They want to slow things down, of course. Tulsa, an over team. If they roll, it's their offense here. Like maybe they just get their team total in this game if you think they're going to have success. So finally hit a little blip. Did Tulsa, just red hot. You talked about having covered 3 straight back-to-back losses. So just a tough one. It's just one I had to stay off when I went through it last night.
Well, we are at 12, coming up on 12:30, CMAC. We got some big 8 p.m. window spots here, just kind of firing down the line. And let me know if anything jumps off the page. Virginia, Ohio State, Georgetown, UConn, Memphis, Utah State, Auburn, and Arkansas, and Texas and Missouri. That's a meaty little 8:30 window there. I mean, how can you not like Utah State? I don't believe in Memphis. I haven't. Walking in Memphis is not for me here. I like Utah State should go out there and bust these boys up here. I think this is just home team, 21-3, one of the best in the land. They run pace. They shoot very well. They got size. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm looking at this Memphis team going, they just ain't it right now. They're 4-7. They don't travel. They're 4-7 against the spread on the road. I get it. Utah State's 3-8 at home against the spread here, but Utah State's literally coming off of back-to-back losses against the spread, but they're just busting. They're putting up 85, 90 points on teams. Recent form, recency biased. I want to fade away. Memphis gets their win against UAB. They put up a 90 pack. They take out Charlotte, and then they get busted up by North Texas here. So I think Memphis in phone it in mode for the finish off of the conference here, or at least against this Utah State team. Utah State should want to come out here and especially you look at a situation where they've got those back-to-back losses. This is, if any, a 21-3 team you're buying low. It's got to be right here. What do you think about this Utah State at home squad?
Yeah, there's nothing to do in this game. I don't know what Memphis team shows up. If they do, they could maybe hang within the number. I only like to back this Memphis team catching points. So at Utah State, one thing I think there's points in this game. I don't know if we're catching a real value with this number, but I think we could get definitely over in that game. Here, I'll hit it under Virginia, Ohio State. Yeah. This is a neutral court game. I think Ohio State can even hang around in this game a little bit, but under, I think 147 is just too high. I think Virginia kind of bring it to how they want it with their defense, Mike, in this game. And Ohio State, they want to get up and down a little bit more, but they're not the worst defense around. So on the neutral court, we talk about everything you got to deal with there, different floor, sight line, the whole thing. I think the under is the play there. I was talking about that yesterday.
Don't have to twist my arm to get me on a Virginia under.
Yep.
That is for sure.
I'll be right back. Let's hit these in the games to get out of here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 10 p.m. slot. Minnesota, Washington, Riverside, UC San Diego, Fullerton, UC Irvine, Nevada, and San Diego State. I feel like you got a spot for us in that game here. I'll leave that to you. St. Mary's and Pacific, the Zags and Santa Clara. Now, we talked about Santa Clara as a road team. They're a home team against the Zags team. It went from 3.5 to 4.5. Is the easy play just to take Gonzaga and say Santa Clara gets busted up here? 55% of the bets, 65% of the cash on the Zags. It has moved in their direction. The total's not moving. It's sitting at 157.5. This is a great game. 10:30 p.m. It's a primetime ESPN special. 24-2 Gonzaga, 22-5 Santa Clara. We look at these two teams. You've got a situation where we see Santa Clara comes in here, beating teams up, doing what they do. But so are the Zags. Zags did have a little suspect loss there against Portland. The Pilots took them down, but they had Oregon State. They got right again after that. They took down Washington State by 30 points in this game here. I think this is a Zags opportunity. It's tight because I think the line is where it is because Santa Clara's won 9 in a row. So they're giving some respect to these guys. They busted up St. Mary's. Start to finish. not an opportunity where St. Mary's was even close. But it's a misleading spot because they played shit teams outside of that St. Mary's spot there. So Zags beat them. Zags already beat them by 12. Is this a bounce back spot for Santa Clara? Or are you going to get with me on the Zags, C-Mac?
Yeah, I think it's short. You like Gonzaga here with this number. I don't know. This is a wait for me. I'd like to take Santa Clara. I've seen this team play. I think they're for real. The place should be going bonkers here tonight, right, Mikey? Big bad Gonzaga into town.
Big bad Zags into town.
Santa Clara's got a really good offense. I mean, both these teams are efficient in that regard. We got a high total. I think Santa Clara could be a little bit live here in this game. You know, they can definitely work inside, outside. They have some decent shooters. One thing, Gonzaga has a better defense. I think, you know, that travel here in a game like this. So maybe, but Gonzaga, another team, you know, so far this year, they don't make their free throws. You know, that's going to hurt them tournament time. That's something we'll hit on next month where it gets into tight games on neutrals. You know, even, you know, like this game's on the road, but once we get to the tournament, it could be a problem. So, yeah, this one should be fun. I lean Santa Clara, other side, but I haven't bet it.
Only right that we find a way to have a head-to-head fight. So, all good. Covered the board. If you guys have any closing thoughts, any games you want to talk about, C-Mac, anything that we missed on the board that you wanted to touch on here as far as the card is concerned?
No, you know, it just wasn't enough. I looked at it. It's basically 3. I like how the team's been playing, you know, especially at home. Like, that's Utah Tech. They're catching 3 against Cal Baptist. Cal Baptist just keeps on winning, won 9 straight. They beat Utah Tech at home by 12. This number's pretty short here. I kind of like Utah Tech here at home. That's one that I looked a little bit at last night. Some of these late games, because I knew we had all day to go through them. Some of these late games, you know. But yeah, I think Utah Tech could be live in that late game. In Utah, baby. Gotta love it. In Utah. There. Anything else? What about Southern Miss? I'd look out with them. I think Southern Miss at home could be a little bit. You know, I don't know how good really this Troy team is. They're 17-9. They have the better off. They're off a loss though. That's why I kind of checked that. They've been pretty good on the road, but who have they beat on the road? Really, nobody. Southern Miss off the loss too. South Alabama. South Alabama plays a big game against Arkansas State too, catching 7.5 on the road in that game. South Alabama, the better defense, could cover that game. I'm just throwing that out there. These are a couple of games I had star that leans for me, and same with Southern Miss. You know, I don't love it, but I lean their way. Anything else? You like South Alabama? You know, really?
No.
Well, I had to bet it. So
I had a problem with South Alabama for a while, and I had to call the hotline.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw a funny meme. Speaking of calling the hotline, these dudes were. I don't think it was a meme. I think it was a little skit. They were doing live bets when they were calling the gambling hotline whether or not it was going to be a chick that answered. I thought that was.
Oh, really?
That was a funny little. Like, I bet you $50 it's a girl, and the girl picked up, and they were like, "Yeah,
dang, yeah, cash it."
I was looking at Hawaii. I was looking at UMKC. Not, you know, these later windows. I want to see how things kind of materialize across the market. I mean, it's getting lofty now. Arkansas over Auburn.
Yeah, the line's big. Yeah,
it's getting there. I mean, I think a little parlay to close the night off is that Utah State money line. Flip Arkansas in there on the money line and put the Zags on the money line, and that should turn you into some plus money as well. So I guess that's kind of the way I look at the end of this card, C-Mac. And again, with the late night spots here, we want to see how the line moves. We want to see what's happening with any players and squad getting out of there. So you guys, best thing to do is to make sure you follow us on X. Anytime we have updated plays that we're putting out there, you can certainly get them. Of course, our premium packages are available. And always get our best bets, our best action. Appreciate all you guys that tuned in here tonight. We're trying, or this afternoon, this morning, whatever time it is where you're at. We appreciate you guys taking the time on Valentine's Day. Listen,
Let's get it.
Closing thoughts. Don't just ram it in there. Spit on it first. It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that's it. Check me out, Connor Mack. My email, Connor Mack Picks. Plays, odds.com. Hit yours up, Mike. Let's get out of here. Let's win. Just win, baby.
Appreciate you guys. Follow me at X at Mikey Money Wins. And we'll be back again to do it again next Saturday for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the program. Leave us some comments. Give us some feedback. You like the pace that we're going at. You like the games that we're covering. If you have special games you want us to cover, come prepared. Come ready to roll. And we will do our best to share our insight with you guys week in and week out. But make sure you smash the thumbs up. We're live on 2 channels, Hitting the Books and Sports Money Network. So thank you guys. Happy Valentine's Day. Good luck to you guys. Manage your bankrolls appropriately. Bet responsibly. CMAC, enjoy your Saturday.